I hate to say this, but it feels like 2020 all over again. Overflowing hospitals and thousands of patients with flu-like symptoms. China is facing a new health crisis, a new disease outbreak, which looks a lot like the Wuhan virus. And as always, Beijing is sharing no information. They're calling it a pneumonia of unknown origin.
This whole narrative is getting worse and more evil by the day. So there's this new pandemic you're going to hear is coming out of China, and they're going to call it the Marburg virus. You're already hearing about it. Okay, so everybody at home, you don't need to be afraid of the Marburg virus, but the Marburg virus is not cobra toxin and Bungaroo toxin. It can't be, or it wouldn't create the symptoms that it does. So Marburg virus is actually going to be a completely different snake venom's protein that causes internal bleeding and external bleeding. Bleeding out of your nose, bleeding out of your eyes, out of your ears, out of your mouth, out of your anus, and you will die from what they call hemorrhagic fever.
And we know the mechanism by which this will be released. Inside of these shots that people already received, inside the lipid nanoparticles, the hydrogel, there exists pathogens inside of the particles that have not yet opened. Those pathogens are chimeric. They include E. coli, Marburg, Ebola staphylococcus, and brewer's yeast, amongst others. We know that upon the broadcast from the 5G system that is now employed across the United States and the world for that matter, when they broadcast an 18 gigahertz signal for 1 minute, 3 different times as a pulse, it will cause those lipid nanoparticles to swell and release these pathogenic contents, thereby causing a Marburg epidemic that they've already spent the money on. It's already done, right? The Marburg epidemic, for purposes of the law, has happened. And now we just need the actual disaster to happen.